Hello, everyone. We're back. Episode 2. Who would have thought?
Not I.
I can't believe it.
We've been quite ambitious.
We're not going to go. We're not going to lie though. We're going to be pretty honest with you. The listenership for episode 1
Was
we didn't shoot the lights out.
No, but it far exceeded what I'd expected because
half a dozen.
Oh no! Look, that we not to be silly. There was 7, but and then it did. The graph went, and then it just went plummet.
And you can tell when you started to talk statistics.
Oh, so it's Andrew. It's of course.
And then we'd start to get on a roll again. And you'd bring out some.
It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me. No.
How was your week, mate?
Really, really good. Yes.
Weekend, sorry.
Weekend was good. Week was fantastic as well.
Yep.
I think we touched on the AFL briefly. I think the AFL went according to plan. There's probably not a lot of surprises. I still like my Wimbledon suggestions.
Fair dinkum.
Yeah, yes. I think that they're still prominent. And I was lucky enough to visit the pleasurable Wangaratta for some racing, some good meets up there, some great conversations with some of the locals, and a shout out to everybody that looked after myself and Mel up there over the weekend. So had a really, really great turn and a really, really great time. So anyone that gets the opportunity to go up there, I think they've got a dozen race meets now from now until end of calendar. So get up there if you can. It's been a fantastic little setup for sure. So what about yourself?
What have I been up to? A few beers on the weekend. Might surprise you. Watch the Mighty Lions have a win. Yes. Anything
UFC grab you over the 7 days?
No, but I did see, I should have mentioned this on last week's pod, Tyson Fury. Heard of him?
Yes.
He retired.
Mike Tyson's Fury?
He's come back.
Oh.
He's making a comeback for 2026.
Wow.
Which, if you've seen, what's that, the show, the Living with the Tysons or something, they did a reality.
Heard of the Kardashians?
They did a reality show, and the great man doesn't like being retired, despite his aging. No, you know what? He's still young. I think he's still only 36 or 37.
Jordan,
who are we looking at?
Tyson Fury. Might be younger. 36, 36.
There you go.
No.
Well done.
So he's not too old.
So what was the main? What was the major on him actually pulling the pin? I mean, what was?
He lost to Usyk twice.
Yep.
And that sort of, I guess he would have lost a bit of fire then.
Yep.
But he's a man who can't stop fighting.
Yeah.
He's a fighter.
Yeah.
And like when he's not fighting, he gets into dark places, and it's something that it's like I don't know. He's a bloke who's probably had a lot of head knocks.
Oh, okay.
And he doesn't know how to stop. But apart from that, mate, no, just a few beers. Caught up with some family and friends, and it was overall a good weekend. But
typical weather. Melbourne's played its part as usual.
4 seasons in a day.
From what I can ascertain, and congratulations also to the North Melbourne Football Club. I think that the 100-year anniversary was absolutely brilliant. So I'm getting some feedback. Well, yeah, as I said, I think I said last week, unfortunately I couldn't make it, but from what I can ascertain, it was
good report.
Great celebration. So yeah, well done to everyone that was involved in that too.
Beautiful,
so
mate. And you've got a following on from last week's ad hoc quote. I think.
Yes, I do.
You might have another one.
And I'm confident you're going to know this one as well. And I was going to write it down, but I didn't get the chance to do so. But
it wouldn't be any bosses who, or was that last week?
Bosses
who don't let their
you're a bum. But this one's going to be really, really good too. But it was a message at I'll actually read it out to you. So the full quote goes, at least do something, don't think, don't hope, do. At least you can come off saying I did this. Famil? Go on.
John Kennedy.
Yes, the great J.K. And it was the GF back in 1975. The great John Kennedy.
The great John Kennedy.
And the reason we speak about it, sorry, jumping in. The reason we speak about it is I listened to some voiceovers for a game of AFL many years ago on SEN. and that it was absolutely fantastic. Well, they mic'd them up, then they put the actual audio into some sort of an archive, and then they get it out again. And this was just, it was just unreal. It was Ron Barassi, so another great talker of his time as well. It was a D's versus, I'm going to say Kangaroos game, but I can't remember exactly. But boy, and it was really funny because they played it back to a couple of the SEN guys, and there was not a lot of coaching. It was more of a tirade. It was more of a berate on anything. But very, very interesting to see. So
just following on from your love of Hawthorn,
Yes.
which I think all our listeners will gather it's quite strong.
yes,
But one thing that surprised me, living in Hawthorn myself, one of my locals is at the Glen Ferry,
Yep.
an institution within the Hawthorn Football Club. You could kick a talk to Glen Ferry Oval.
Yep.
And I asked you a while back, I said, why don't we go have a beer at the Glen Ferry? And you said, where's that?
no.
You said, I've never
I've never been to the, but I knew it was in Glen Ferry, ironically. So,
yes, of course.
and I actually watched one game of AFL. Well, back then it was VFL at Glen Ferry. So
at Glen Ferry Oval.
yeah,
I just found it bewildering
bewildering.
that a man of your stature hasn't.
Grew up in the country.
I know you and Melly are pretty settled in North Melbourne, and you don't venture too far except the office, 3 Crowns, and back home, and then you rinse and repeat. But to come across to one of the arguably Hawthorn's most famous pub,
It was an eye opener. I've got to say, and it was one of the more pleasurable things that I've done with you.
after the UFC, wasn't it?
After the UFC, it was, yes.
We was just topping up, weren't we, at that stage?
It was just a bit of a walkthrough, wow, and
you were getting a bit too excited.
I didn't. And
You were sitting in front of a couple of
I wasn't emotional.
jerseys.
I wasn't. Oh, well, so that was a crowning glory, and as well, and digress a little bit. So 2014 grand final, Hodges 250th.
A great mate, friend of the show,
A great friend.
who we might. I don't want to speak too soon because we haven't told him.
But is he here? Hang on.
No, but we might. We've got a few special guests in the works. I did a little bit of work with Hodgie in the past. AB's good mates with Hodgie, so
and he's a gentleman.
Hopefully,
so, yeah.
all things going well, and the stars align.
He doesn't disown us.
We might. He doesn't block our numbers.
He doesn't. And if I can dig up this picture of the guys, so yeah, we get off the topic a little bit. But 2014, quite an emotional state I was in with a great mate of ours as well, Gino. At the actual game, 2014. Pounded my way down towards the fence to see the great guys doing their lap of honour after the grand final. And it was a little bit of a scene out of South Park where I was sort of deflecting kids a little bit. And I thought, oh, no, I can't do this. So to my right, I looked over, MCC members. I thought between me and potential, there's just this fence, yay. And a young buck that I wasn't and fighting fit that I wasn't. I hoiked myself over and landed on a step and did my ACL. So
oh, no.
2014 grand final. So I've got some images of some of the boys holding up a get well soon sign at their best and fairest. So if I can find them.
Yeah, do that. We'll put that on socials for sure.
What socials?
Oh, here we go.
So if I can dig that picture.
Dig it up and we'll put it up. Everyone will be keen to see that.
Dig that wazoo. So that was a horrendous, but anyway, so 15, stayed well clear. Yeah. I decided that I went to the grand final, obviously.
Hey,
but
a man's got to know his limitations. Who says that?
A man's got to know his limitations.
Clint
Wazoo Eastwood.
Clint Wazoo Eastwood. Robbie O'Callaghan, shout out to Robbie.
Robbie.
Loves Clinty Eastwood.
Does
he? No, that's good, mate. I think let's move on.
So anyway, Glen Ferry, fantastic. Yeah,
great.
Absolutely,
it was good.
Absolutely.
It was good to be there. Even though it was wild that you hadn't been there, but you were just struck.
So where's Brisbane / Fitzroy crowning glory, home of all homes in Melbourne?
The Royal Derby on the corner.
It still is the Royal Derby.
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's where they have all their watch parties.
Yeah,
and
beautiful.
Days and that. So that's another great old pub.
Institution.
Yeah.
We love them.
Moving on. I thought we'll start off with
top 50.
we'll start off with our top 50.
Oh, we're going to do that, are we?
I think why not? Everyone's been waiting for it.
Okay, so 45 I can't read out and
Why don't
look you in the eye.
Why don't you just no? Can you just recap for anyone that missed last week,
Your loss?
which could be quite a few. I think our listener numbers are they're going quite well.
Did you ever see the show that The New Price is Right? And there was
The Mountain.
Yeah, there's this hiker and a dog following
Yeah.
him, and I feel like the listeners just went
when Woody's mark came up.
When Woody's mark came up.
Can you just recap 50 to 46, and then we'll start?
I've crossed them out, but anyway, 50 was Pat Cash wins Wimbledon, 1987, I think that is. Tony Lockett, 1300th goal. Far lap, which does make
Far lap winning the Melbourne Cup.
Yes, back in 1930. Penrith 4-peat, and I can't do it. You have to read
46 for all those out there that didn't tune in last week. Go back and give it a listen. Give us a rating, by the way. Give us 5 stars.
Out of what?
5 out of 5.
Oh, yeah.
46. Look, I threw in Daniel Wood's mark for Blackburn against Bourne Tigers. I just thought it was one of the great grabs. And if that was on an AFL field, I think if that was on that would have beat Jezelenko.
Oh. Can we cut? Can we cut?
You just want to move on from that?
I just need to, because I've got one. I've actually got one here that I think is even better than that. There's 2, but I'll preface.
Well, how about?
We haven't punched in for the next 5.
No. But with those ones that you've got there,
yeah,
from 55 to 41, I'm happy for you to take one of them out and put one of yours in.
All right, done.
So,
well, can I
let's
do
go
one
through.
Of these?
I'll go through them.
Well,
and then you have a look, and then you have a think. So,
because these are 2 of them are quite controversial. These are moments in sport, not specifically Australian moments in sport. So
yeah, but these are like what resonate with our followers, our audience.
Absolutely.
So at 45, and this list. Let's just set the scene. Like ChatGPT did give me a little bit of a chop out with this, but I've sort of played around with it a little bit. 45, we've put in Tina Turner's 1993 grand final performance. Iconic. Everyone in the NRL circles remember that. I recently went up to State of Origin with the great Wendell Saylor for work.
Meant to ask you about that, yes.
Yeah, no, it went well. Thanks for asking. You're always checking in on me. And we sort of chatting about, what was his career like and, most memorable moments. One of his top ones was Tina's performance in that grand final.
Wow.
I think he either was playing. He was playing, I think, in that grand final, and he
was he involved in the commercial?
No, he was playing.
Do you remember the commercial?
No.
Okay.
Just I don't know.
There was a
commercial. If you want to continue the story.
No. Your story's really going well.
And he said he was in the change rooms getting distracted by Tina Turner, and I'm pretty sure that's what he said. We'd had a few jars during this conversation, so I might have put a bit of mayo on that.
Misconstrued.
That's 45. 44, which I think you might cross out. But Lane Beachley, one of the shout out to Lane Beachley.
Correct, and we're certainly not saying it's not worthy. We're just suggesting that
Lane Beachley, she's arguably the go to Australian surfing up there, Fanning and whatnot. So she wins her 7th surfing world championship, which is an amazing effort. 43, St George versus West NRL grand final. And the creation of the Proven Summons Trophy. So the grand final trophy, that picture is from that game, like the image of the blokes hugging. So that's an iconic moment for everyone in the NRL circles, not so much you, AB. 42, for the listeners still listening out there, Anna Mears beats Victoria Pendleton. I remember this at the Olympics.
Of course.
This is a big deal. I'm pretty sure, hate's a strong word, but they disliked each other, and they were.
Well, it was rivalry, and you need that as well to get the best out of anybody.
It's Aussie, Australia versus Britain,
and that's what I love.
And we got the chockies,
and I love. You know what I love? We go back to the Australia Cup. You love that boxing or fighting kangaroo, the flag. Anytime you see that, you just think, "Wow, this
gives
is
you chills,
awesome."
doesn't it?
Yep.
And then 41, we've got this is recent memory, and I think everyone,
Ledecky,
just flogging Ledecky.
Yeah.
And how good was that? That yank. Everyone can resonate with that. It gives me chills. I remember
Australia beats America.
Tokyo Olympics.
Yep.
That stays in.
Yep.
I don't care what you say. Arguably should have been higher.
Oh, not.
But it's just such a tough list to narrow down and that sort of thing. But if, you've got a couple there.
There's probably not something that I'm not going to knock out, but I just love talking about this. And if we get a second to digress a little bit, go back to 1981. What's that mean?
17 minutes.
Okay. We go back, underarm bowling incident, 1981.
Yes. Trev Chappell.
Trev.
He came to Leeton once.
Trevor Chappell bowls underarm to New Zealand's Brian McKenzie, and whilst being observed by Rod Marsh. Remember Rod Marsh?
Roddy Marsh, yep.
Put his gloves behind him. It was just like one of these unbelievable things. And I actually, the reason I bring it up is because I just saw a doco around what had actually happened and the impact that it actually had on the Chappells and the family and what that had done to them. But in particular, Trevor Chappell bowling underarm. I mean, God, it was just...
he's never really recovered. I think I've heard,
Never.
He came to, as I was saying, he came to Leeton they used to do clinics, and out in the country, we never got too much.
Yep.
And this bloke was only a young fella, Trev Chappell, comes out, and I was a keeper back in the day. Look up my stats, Leeton A grade. Not great with the bat, but did most catches in A grade one year. He came out, and he was just I don't know how to explain the man, like standoffish, felt a bit awkward at times.
And Greg Chappell will tell you that it never impacted, but anyone else on the outside looking in suggested that it was one of those moments where...
and he didn't want to do it.
He didn't want to do it. He didn't want to do it. No, he didn't want to do it. And Rod Marsh went up and said, what are you thinking? I mean, this is just absurd. Funnily enough, though, on the flip of all of that, it actually put New Zealand cricket and the rivalry.
Yeah,
it put them back on the map because they were going through this whole wayward fall, and they just said it was probably whilst around it and the circumstances were not great. Funnily enough, it was one of these things that actually it brought the nation together. The whole ditch, the rivalry just grew and grew and grew. And emphatically, look at it now. It doesn't matter what New Zealand v Australia do, playing-wise, netball, cricket, anything, rugby in particular, what happens? The rivalry just blossoms, doesn't it, really?
Yeah, it does. And so, honourable, you're happy to leave those ones in
there?
there?
No, I don't want to knock out things because they're on their merit alone, they're just fantastic achievements. But I like to throw in a little bit of, the underarm incident and all of those sorts of things. So
maybe we have an honourable mention to a few things, and I can add them in as we go.
And that works as well. This is all a bit of landscaping, as we like to call it as well. But I love that incident. And you're too young. I still remember where I was. I was watching it at a mate's house,
with Ken Murray.
Kenny Murray, my PE teacher. No, this particular stage. And his dad, the guy I was with, Justin, his name was, his dad, Dave, said, he's about to bowl underarm here. And we're like, no, surely to goodness. And people remember it. People remember it like it was yesterday. So we'll touch on a little bit further next week. But the incident, remember the Mike Tyson, Holyfield?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week.
We'll talk about that. We could even talk about that today. So that's our, we're down to, what are we down to? 41.
Yes.
So we're getting through them.
Again, people buy in.
Yeah.
Get involved.
Tell us what you think. If you think we're going rubbish so far, let us know.
No, don't tell
actually
us
don't.
that.
No. Just positive.
Yeah.
So
positive vibes, thanks.
But I think moving on, AB.
Yes.
I think we might go into eras because you and I, we come from different eras.
Eras like as in mirrors or errors?
Eras.
Or eras.
Let's move into eras.
Okay, you can talk about this. I'll leave that down there. I don't need that anymore.
Let's talk about eras. Is it eras or errors?
Well, era is something that you make daily.
Era.
An era.
An era. All right, well, let's talk about eras.
Where are we?
No, well, we're not on, but I think...
Oh, go on. Will you lead off on this?
Yeah, well, it's sort of a mixture of the back in my day and the old GOAT versus the new GOAT.
Yep.
I want to know, because I don't really remember footy till Brizzy won their sort of third flag in a row in early 2000s. The standard of footy, I want to know from you, do you think footy now is more watchable than back in the day? I know I didn't prepare for this.
It's safer. No. It's safer. And I honestly, I watch back on some of the old grand finals with fondness, but some of the stuff that they got it was just unbelievable. King hits and
Dipper in that grand final.
it was play-ons, and they highlight a lot of it in some of the shows on the TV at the moment, because there's so many AFL shows on TV at the minute. But they highlight what they could have done back then, and it was a play-on call, or it was you're penalised because you're holding the ball, but somebody's just clocked you from behind play. So now I like the way it's morphed. I like the brand that is what it is now. I think that it's negligible for the AFL not to look after the head. We keep talking about that as being an untouchable commodity. It's with intrigue that I listened to a couple of the coaches and their opinions around running into umpires of late, and I think that that's a bit of a concern. But who's at fault? I mean, the play is what the play is. They run backwards, so it's blind. They're suggesting that the accountability of them not running into an umpire is monstrous, but they've paid over $1 million worth of fines just in umpire knocks. So I think it's great. I think it's morphed in really, really well. Do I have an opinion on Tasmania?
Do you have an opinion on Tasmania?
I have an opinion on Tasmania. I think that it's where the location, where they potentially want to build it. I was in Tasmania, went to the Hobart Cup and the Hobart Derby in Feb, and we know exactly where the site is potentially going to be. So it's phenomenal where it's going to be. But do they have the money to do it? Do they have the backing?
That's the thing. It's the government.
Yeah.
Like this whole thing, you're going to go through this, which it's not looking good.
No, it's not. But they're adamant. 2028.
Yeah, but I mean now this, and I look at the NFL and they're talking about they've got to have a roof, right?
Yep.
These NFL teams play in America when it's snowing and they train in the snow and it's like minus, and I know. But Tassie doesn't have the greatest weather.
Is that a visual, though? Is that a visual that you want? Do you want to see a game being played in...
Well, they're not going to play. It's about them training. It's about the players wanting to stay down there and train.
And the attraction piece.
Exactly.
So do you want to be going down and staying and training and living in that precinct and getting the best of yourself? And
now you're just shit-housing.
No, because
the lovely Hobart.
Because I look at the Hawthorn game of late, where it was 5 goals each up until 3/4 time, and they ended up winning 6 goals or whatever it was to 5, and it was a horrendous spectacle. Absolutely. So I love Tassie. I think Tassie's spectacular. Tasmania needs a football ground. Tasmania needs a side.
Done.
Simple as that. Does Canberra need a football ground?
No.
Why not? Did Darwin
need a football ground or football team?
Both. Vicky Verka. One goes.
No, Canberra. That's ridiculous.
Why?
I don't know if you're just trying to stir me up.
No, I'm not. I'm saying.
Why would Canberra, who is mad NRL rugby union, and it's cold as a bloody mother-in-law's kiss there?
How did Gold Coast? How did Brisbane? Well, you're telling me that AFL is rife up there? It took them how long? Build the band.
I'll grow on this. I'll grow.
So the AFL spends money. The AFL throws money. That's where they don't want to dilute the product. It needs to be an Australian Football League.
Yes, Brisbane had a few rough years with the Bears. Obviously, when they first moved there, again, before my time, they did the shit. Then we won 3 flags, went through the success. It's about success ultimately, isn't it? If the Gold Coast start winning...
but success brings money.
But then you look at the other side. GWS they've made a grand final.
Underachieved.
They've never
underachieved.
But looking at their following, they've underachieved there as well.
But what
in such a big Sydney market, and I know it's NRL mad.
How does Sydney Swans
look at us trying to talk about how to fix the AFL?
How does Sydney Swans start out, and then a Greater Western Sydney side, another Sydney side develops and grows and tries to headbutt into the marketplace, where I think a geography will dictate to you that Sydney should never have had another Sydney side. That's my comeuppance. Again, Brisbane have got a side, Gold Coast have got a side. Okay, well, what are they demographic-wise? They're a handful apart, so that's fine. But this is a conversation you could go on about. But I think end it now. Tasmania definitely do need a side up there, and they definitely need to have the funding to get their ground built. So
I agree. So maybe we can try and do our part, whatever that is.
I'm bringing a Tasmania logo next week or something like that.
Maybe we can put something on. We can get the globe out.
No, we can just spin it onto Tasmania.
No, very good, Andrew. let's move on to Pint Watch.
Pint Watch.
The listeners, the followers, they loved it last week.
Yeah.
They did. They got around it. We've had tips. We've had messages. I haven't been able to keep up with getting back to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll do one each that I've passed. That
I've got to excuse me because
this is from a follower that you've got as well.
Yeah.
I've passed this.
And if I get it wrong, I need to make sure that I get it right. So because it's they call these pubs in country first or middle or second or third, and so it's quite an evolution piece. But good mate of mine. And Benny Fisher is his name. So sorry if I just jumped straight in front of you. The Corumburra, which is they call the Middle Hotel.
Yep.
So the Corumburra Hotel is notorious for fantastic food, fantastic cold beer. Let's be honest. I mean that's the big thing that everybody resonates with, isn't it? Is that they want to make sure that their beers are cold, the welcoming's there, and people are energized to sort of see them. And they're consistently great. Prices are fantastic, akin to where you'd want to be paying for your local beers, etc. And big shout out to Benny Fisher down there in the middle pub. So if you're ever down that way, get on board. He's a ripper. Yeah,
beautiful. Shout out to Benny. This is from Nick L. Nick L has got in touch with us. The Royston in Richmond.
The Royston?
Heard of that? One of the great pubs. It is
spelt R-O-Y?
R-O-Y.
S-T-O-N, I assume.
Yes, it is.
Royston.
The Royston, it's...
Not familiar with it, I've got to say.
What's he said here? Deals every day, 4 to 6, $4 pots and $8 pints of Royston Pale Ale and Lager.
See?
They've got... How good's that?
Energised. Pump up the tyres on these locals.
That's it.
I love it.
You see far too much these days, and I guess this is going to be our crusade. And we can sit here. We can sit here all day, and we can chat shit and chat about the footy, and what do we do on the weekend? No one gives a stuff really about that, do they? But pumping up the tyres of these local venues, these local pubs, we're both very partial to a pub, aren't we?
Doing it correct. Doing it tough out there. Country guys. Pubs are the epicure. These are the heart of or the melting pot, if you like, of these communities.
Yeah,
so.
And it's also coming, as you said, Shep, Leeton, the pubs are the life of the town. Shout out to the Wade Hotel and the Leeton Hotel. Many a night there. Ooh, getting a bit excited thinking about it. But it is. It means a lot to everyone involved, and you see these country towns which they have the one pub, and the one pub shuts.
Yep.
And it's just devastating. And all the locals and farmers try and chip in to save it, and they just can't.
No.
That's where they used to go, and they used to meet up.
And that's the knock-on effect. And the knock-on effect is that these pubs are they're the bread and butter. And, you go from Melbourne and you drive up to Shepparton, which I do quite regularly, and all of these bypasses now. So you're missing out on your Violet Towns and your Nagambis and your Murchisons and all of these places.
So where you can, go have a pint, go have a schooner, whatever you can afford.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, you'll know factually that the quality, the service is going to be second to none, but the food is always. It's just not en masse. It's just one of these,
Yeah.
Wait another 10 minutes and the food will come out looking like, wow.
Yeah. So keep sending in the pubs, the suggestions. We'll get around them. Thanks, Nick. And
absolutely.
Old Cobber. Benny Fish.
I go, I've not known Fish inadvertently for a long time, but Fish. What do they call you? Fish. At one stage, I thought his name was Fish Fisher. So
Fisher.
Fish. But yeah, that'll work.
There you go.
Fish.
Well, AB, we've made it through episode 2.
Yes. Excitement for this week for you, weekend. More AFL, some great games of football coming up.
Yeah, hopefully a quiet weekend. Few beers, watch the footy.
Yep. The nights are getting colder. The winters are getting longer.
Aren't they? That's when you just got to dig the heels in, don't you, AB?
Okay, I'm home. I'm going home. And that's enough for me. So,
No, what about you, mate?
Same. Nice and relaxed weekend, yeah. Family, catch up with some fam. Love watching the football. That's the highlight. We'll lead into this next week, but Thursday night, yes, no. Do we like it? Do we hate it? Do we want it to stay? I think it's probably going to be with us now for I hope. I think it's going to be with us now forever. I really do.
I just remembered we've missed what AB's missed this week.
In the
But
socials?
we'll do it next week. We'll make sure we get to that. We're running out of time.
Clearly, I've missed it, so you have as well.
Yeah, so we'll do that next week. It'll be we'll make sure it's something similar to AV finding out about Bonnie Blue. But
we'll work on something that's going to be mind-jarringly boring or something that's going to just change the world.
It's going to change.
But again, thanks for everyone for listening in again. I mean, fantastic. We really, really appreciate the support. Please keep ticking through the socials or whatever you do, or you send the note through or whatever he's just done to you.
You don't ever know what you're talking about.
Well, you've got it anyway. I can only assume that he's done something. So that's good. So shout out.
Shout out. Thanks, guys.
Cheers. Have a great week.